Hey guys, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and I would like to welcome you to the Christmas Stampathon 2022. Welcome back if you are a returning participant in our challenges, or welcome if this is the first time you have ever found us. Basically, what the Christmas Stampathon challenge is about is starting anytime during the year and just being a little ready around Christmas to give out cards, tags, gift bags, all those things ready to go and ready to rock at the busiest time of the year. So without any further ado, our first challenge of 2022 is white with a pop of colour. So what I have done for my challenge, and I will show you how to make this card, I have obviously used white, and my pop of one colour is cherry cobbler. So cherry cobbler is what I have chosen to go with, and just to go along with the card, because white with a pop of one color can be a little challenging, I have added some texture with the Wintry 3D embossing folder. I have, for my sentiment from the Poinsettia Petals, I have used the seasonal label dies and use this one right here, and I have done some gold embossing with the Poinsettia Petals, and I've cut them out using the Poinsettia dies and just added in a little bit of gold foil paper. So let's make this card together. I have done some pre-preparing here, but I will show you how I put this guy together, and I just realized I'm not as prepared as what I thought I was. So as always, my card making videos are in real time, so if I make any mistakes, you will see exactly what I have done and how I fix it. So I've just got a little packet that I pre-prepared earlier. So I'll pop my card here. I have my thick basic white card base. I have my Poinsettia Petals, flowers and winter berries ready to colour with you. I have the die cut ready to stamp, and that's where I think we might start. And I have my piece of basic white paper ready to emboss and add a little colour to. So I am going to start with my Stamparatus. So what I have done, I created a bit of a jig here to make it easier to stamp all of my pieces, and then all I have to do, if I can pick this baby up, I just pop in the die cut into my pre-prepared jig. So I stamped using my Stamparatus onto this first piece of paper, die cut it out, and then I did not move my stamp to create the jig. So when I use my Stamparatus, I like to pop in a stamp set under the plate here, just to make it so the plate is flat. And then what I do, I take my ink, just makes it a little easier to ink up on a flat surface than it to be on an angle. So stamp this down. Now, if I don't get it right first time, it's okay, because it's going to, and I actually haven't got it right first time, little bit patchy there on the mousse. So I'm just actually going to just ink up that end. So I've left the rest uninked. Make sure it's going down, not quite right, because I didn't have it sitting in there correctly. Now I know it's right. And flip that off, and I have got a perfect second stamping. So that is the only stamping we are doing together. While I get this next bit set up, I'll talk to you about how I got the gold embossing done. So what I did, I took our Versamark ink and I stamped the poinsettias. Then what I did, I covered that Versamark in our, I don't need this one, silly me. I need my little one. I covered the Versamark ink, which is a sticky ink, in our gold embossing powder. And then I used our heat tool to melt it. And then I used the matching die cuts to die cut them out. So that was a bit of a process I did, because I'm actually making, this is our 11th card that I'm making together. I've already made 10, because as part of the challenge, we do want you to make 4 cards. I am totally wrong. I actually don't want this machine. I do want my larger machine, so please excuse me for a second. Lucky my machines sit nicely off to the side, and I can have these ready in a jiffy. So just pop the sides of our machine down. I'm going to grab our embossing folder. So what we want to do, this is one of our 3D embossing folders. So I do need, let me see if I can grab this piece of paper, and I am going to do a partial embossing. So as you can see, this folder is narrower than the card front, and that's the look I'm going for. So I'm going to line this up here, and I'm just making sure it's straight, because I really would like this edge to be straight. I'm going to pop it in spine first, because that puts less pressure on the embossing folder. And this is our embossing plate, and this gives us the correct amount of pressure to get a nice deep embossed impression. So I'm just going to pop this on the ground for the moment, and I'll pop it away later. Open this up to reveal our beautifully embossed background. So you can see here, partially embossed. So next, I want to add a pop of colour to the background, and I'm going to do that with a blending brush. So I'm just going to smoosh this in, and I know this is going to be covered up with my flower. So I can go fairly dark in the middle and just bring that colour out and out and out, just to get that beautiful halo, which also highlights the pine embossing. Now I would like it a little bit darker, so I have re-put my hand or my brush into the ink. Now I do have a bit of a mark there, must have got my fingernail in it. It's fine, it's going to be partially covered up. It's a handmade card, and we are just going to go with it. Now next, now I've done that, I want to colour in my flowers. Now this is fairly easy. Just going to grab a bit of a scrap piece of paper, and I'm actually going to grab one of our clear blocks. I'm going to stamp it into our ink pad. Now you're going to think I'm a bit weird here, but those of you who visit my videos regularly know that I do have some issues with my hands, and these water painters that we have are just a titch difficult for me to squeeze. So as you can see, I just squeezed a little bit of clean water onto my block to wet my aqua painter, and then I take that to the ink. I'm just going to do a bit of a test, and I'm just going to colour in these veins. Now you could colour these however you want. I am just being neat messy. I'm just adding in the colour as if the veins were red and the actual, whoops. Now I'm just going to proceed, and I'll show you how I'll get rid of that red in just a second. So that leaf was a little bit wet, but that's okay. I can go in and add a little bit more red, and that's fine. Now I want to do my top leaf. Move my powder here. So I'm just going to go in and do my top leaf. Once again, just being fairly messy. Look, my hand is going to have red all over it, but as I said, I do have a way to fix it. So tell me in the comments, do you feel these challenges are a good idea, or is January a little bit early? Because I have found these to be fantastic for me, and by the end of the year I feel nice and prepared. I did get my cards out a little late last year, but they were all made. And I just need to get the winter berries and just dab in each winter berry as my hand shakes, but this is not precise. I am certainly not going for that. I just want to add in that colour. I'm just getting the excess off this for the moment. I'm also going to pop this to the side, and I will clean that all up later. To get any excess ink off my hands, I'm going to use some hand sanitizer. Now, this hand sanitizer is not going to get rid of the red ink. Washing my hair tomorrow morning will do that. So that's always good. I don't know why, but the friction of washing your hair always gets rid of the ink, which is great. Whoops. I will need a new mat now. So I think we are up to assembly. So I'm going to bring in our card base. I'm going to grab our multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to not open the broad end. I definitely want the fine tip, and just put a and of course my glue doesn't want to work. Okay, and now we're going to go to the pin method, because that should work. So I just always keep a dress pin off to the side, go in. I think I'm reaching the end of this glue, which is why it's not working. There we go. So I've just cleared that nozzle, just adding just a very, very thin dotty bead of glue. I think that was our little glob that was stopping the process. And I have a 1/2 centimetre piece of gold foil that I'm going to butt up to the edge of that embossing. I'm just going to leave that there to dry whilst I try. I can tell this is my first recorded video of the year because of course nothing can go right. Actually, I do want this glue again. Just add a little dot in the middle of our flower. And we just want to layer these up. So when you look at these flowers, I have used the smallest and the middle size. I didn't want a really huge flower to take over the front of the card. So you don't need to use all 3 layers. You can just use 2, which is what I have done for mine. Even though a poinsettia, yes, normally has 3 layers, mine doesn't today. And it didn't on any of my cards. Okay, so let's just pop that off. And I'm just going to, I pop it on the darkest place. And then we're going to take our winter berries. Just pop another drop of wet glue just in one spot. And I'm just going to tuck these in here. Pop it down, and I love that there is some dimension to these leaves, and we can further pop it up by just bending the edges of the petals just to give it some life. Okay, then taking the Merry Christmas, just going to add 3 dimensionals to this just to give it a little bit of stability. Now, the Christmas Stamp-thon, I did forget to tell you, we are a group over on Facebook. So in the description box below, there will be a link for you to find us. You just need to fill out a few questions to join. Please make sure you do fill out those questions so we know you're a real person and you're not a bot, and you can join in on all the fun. So you can choose whichever color you would like to use for this challenge, and the challenges start on the 25th of each month, and your entries are due in the comments post for that month by the 24th, your local time, because we do have demonstrators from the US and the from the UK and Australia, who have examples for you to get some inspiration from. And then we have people from all across the world who participate. So I've just popped that Merry Christmas on, snipped off the edge so it's nice and flush. Then we're just going to add it to the card front. So we have friends, customers, demonstrators from all across the world who participate, and we do send one of these cards to a random participant every month. So myself and the 3 other admin, we do randomly choose 4 people for one of our cards to go to, just as a thank you for them participating. So I do hope you have enjoyed my card and the fact I've made 11. Thank you for sticking with me for making this one. Sorry, just getting pressure on that. And we really hope to see you over on the Facebook page and your creations with our white with 1 pop color, which is due on the 24th, or due by the 24th of February. We have people who share straight away or all the way through the month. So just when you get a chance, give it a go. Start creating your Christmas stash and join me next month on the 25th of February and I will have our brand new challenge. Thank you so much for joining me. I will have a link to my blog post below as well with all the supplies I have used. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye.